Hello, this is Jackson again, coding teacher at GTech. Tonight I want to give you with a free coding lesson in Python. I want to teach you how to create programs using Python. This is a free recording. I just want to give you this as a gift. So, welcome to today's lesson. And this is a very basic lesson, and we'll be covering what exactly is coding. How do you get started with coding? What is Python? How do you write your basic syntax in your basic code in Python by learning the basic syntax? This is a first lesson for beginners. This is purely dedicated to college and university student whom might be starting with Python, but having a little challenge here and there, trying to understand a few concepts, and any other person who is interested in getting to understand Python programming language. So let's get started. I'll just get started by defining coding. Coding basically is that process of giving instruction to a computer for it to do something. And you want it to achieve a specific task. So you give it instruction, and basically this instruction, we write them using a programming language. And Python is one of those programming languages that are out there. There are so many other languages, Java, C++, JavaScript, there's so many out there. So Python is most preferred because it's general purpose. It can be used to do mobile web app. It can also be used to do data science. It can also be used in machine learning. It can be used to do automation. It has multiple use cases. And above all that, Python is beginner friendly. It's very easy to learn and understand. So let's get started. Let's start by writing a very basic program. And let's say we are trying to write about a person. So a person will have things like a name, a person will have gender, a person can be married or not, a person can be a student or not, a person might have a bank account, a person might have some balance in the bank account, and those some of the attributes a person might have. So let's define that as a program. So in that case, you'll have to represent the person name, you'll have to represent the age. So we represent all this information by defining what we call variables. Variables in programming are placeholders for storing some information. Let's say age, student name, full name, your full name, bank account, if you have one, all that information. So let's get started. I'll just start by defining full name. So this is the basic syntax for defining a variable. You give it a name and then use equal sign, and then you give it a value. And because a name is a text, I allow you to use the single quote. I can use single quote or full or double quotes. So either way, it still works. So let's say my name is Jackson. Okay, Jackson. Okay. Press enter. So what's another thing what another property does this person has? A person has age. Let's say this is 18 years old. Gender equals. You can use single quote or double quote, but you have to stick with one. I prefer working with the double quote. As you can see, I did not quote my age here because this is a number. So in programming, every information is represented in a different format. A text is represented differently from a number, and that is what you call data type. Data type basically is a way information is represented in the computer memory. And this is a text, and this format is called a string, and this is an integer. I have balance, let's say balance, bank account, a bank. I'll use underscore to join these two words because this is bank and balance. So I'll use underscore, that's the preferred. Let's say I have 1,050 cents. So this is also a different data type, and this is a float. Okay, so let's define another thing. What's another property can we have for this person? Is student, am I student? No, I am not a student, so false. false. So this is what you call Boolean, because the answer here, it's simply yes or no. So in programming, especially in Python, we represent this Boolean by false and true. If I was student, I'll just put true, capital T. And note that the Python recommend that you use you use a lowercase to name the variables, but for this value for Boolean, you have to make sure T is capital and F if it's false. So let's get to display all this information. So how do I display the person name? I'll just use a special command, what we call an inbuilt function, and it's called print. And then I put in the name of my variable, because this variable is storing a value, Jackson Wirigi. That's the value that is stored in this variable. And print again age. I just put age there. Again, I'm trying to access. So basically, variables are used to store information that can be referenced and manipulated later on in your program. So I'll just right click inside this PyCharm and then run lesson 1. As you can see, I'll get the output here, printed Jackson Mwirigi and 18, which is my age. But someone might wonder, okay, what's this about? What's this age about? What's this 18 about? So there's a way of formatting this output, in that I could have printed this way. I put full speech mark, I write full name, full color, then after the speech mark, I put a comma, and then call now the variable name like that. And the same thing to the age, and let me run again, right click inside, run, send. So you can see this time around I've got this label. This will act like a label, full name, then the value here, full name, age, the value here. So that's how you can format the output in such a way someone reading or having a look at your code here and your output can be able to understand what you're talking about, what's happening here. So right, so let's do something else. Let's print the student, print a student. I'll just say student, student, a student. So I'll get this as well, student, true. But I said I'm not student, so I'll just put false. Run that. As you can see, this has been updated. Okay. Now let's do a very basic math here, so that you can get to understand variables better. You have a better understanding of variables and how to access them. So when you're doing math, you have to use links like num1 equals, let's say I'm adding 20 and num2 30. As you can see, this is a comment. I used hash is single line comment. Comment is something you just put, it will not be executed. It's just a way of maybe explaining your code, or what you call, you're documenting your code. So I'll have another variable that will hold for the result for me. For num1 plus num2, I'll just use the operator, the plus operator, to be able to do addition. So by default, Python understand, hey, this guy is trying to add whatever is in here, and whatever is here, you add to this one. So if I print result, result, I'll get that 50. Result 50. And let's do another one. X, Y equals 200, Z, X equals 3, Z. I want to do multiplication this time around. So Y asterisk for multiplication 3. Oh, sorry, X. Y asterisk X. Print Z. Let's do subtraction. As you can see, you can also have a variable that is a letter as a variable name. It doesn't always have to be a word, it can also be a letter. As long as after the letter you put equal sign for assignment, then you give it a value. And then another one, let's say num2, you can still reuse these numbers again with different values. Num2, num3, you can still reuse a variable like that, no problem. And then you can still use the result equals num3 minus, I'll just put this is a dash for minus, print result. This is a freestyle lesson, so it's not really coming out with a very clear structure. It's just meant to be here to help you, to guide you get started in Python. So for more colorful information and into full details on coding, you can contact me, because I also do lessons. I teach coding for adults and also kids. But this one is a special way of giving back to the YouTube community, because I'm a product of YouTube. I've done a lot of all right, self-teaching. So it can get really hard when you don't have some support to get into a coding class. So I had to learn the hard ways. All right, so let's continue. So let's do division and put A equals 400, B equals 4, C equals. This is just exactly how you do maths in school, but now you are using variables. And okay, so you use slash / for division, print C. Run this. But here again, there is some confusion. I don't know what this 600 is for. What is this 54? What is 0.04? So I can't really figure out, I can't understand whose output is this, which, so it could have been better if I have a way of formatting this output. And that leads us to getting to learn how to format a string. In that, I can have something like, let me put a comment, something like says 400 divided by 4 equals, I should have done a, so that it's easier. Let's just try to do an easier one. This is 100. So to be able to do that, I'll just use print statement. Inside, I put the switch, the quote, and then I'll just write these symbols, this curly brace opening and closing, and then I put plus sign. Oh, it's a division. Division, another pair of curly brace, and then equal sign, and then another pair. So what I've just done is I've introduced some placeholders that can hold anything. This can be replaced with anything. And then I format this text. Remember, this is still a text because it's quoted. And then after the last speech mark, I put dot format. And then I provide the values to these placeholders. So yeah, I am, because I'm working with A, B, and C, I'll just put inside the bracket for format this function. I'll start with the first one. It's exactly the way I've done the operation here, exactly the way it has been done here. So I'll start with the A, then next one is B, and next is C. Let's print this. Let's see how it will come out. As you can see, it will come out like 400 / 4 equals 100. I can do that for division, so multiplication, I mean, and also addition. So let me repeat that. That's multiplication again. See, I have 100, 3 equals 3, result. I can also give it a name answer. It doesn't have to always be result. And 2 asterisk for multiplication, num3. Then I'll put print as a pair of curly brace, asterisk, a pair of curly brace, equal sign, a pair of curly brace, then after the speech mark dot format, then I'll start with num2, num3, then answer. Okay, I'll run this. There we go. 100 times 3 equals 300. So this is how you format a text. Again, to dive deeper into formatting text strings, you can contact me on this video has been recorded in a very simple way, so I'll just put my contact here. Okay, so at Idali Jackson, this is Twitter. Plus 254 719 369. This is WhatsApp. More details. This is at Idali Jackson on Twitter. This is at and Twitter. This is WhatsApp. All right, so that's it for today. This is what I have for you today. I hope it helps, and I look forward to doing another video for you, which will be lesson 2, and most probably I'll be teaching you somewhere something to do with the if then, and also we also do a bit of list, follow, functions. So I am really looking forward to getting to teach you more on Python, free content. So make sure to like and share with your friends, comment, let me know how how this one worked for you. And if you've enjoyed, if you learned something, don't forget to comment. Bye bye.